Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Wednesday, the 3rd of January 2024. No video yesterday, I was a bit knackered, so I decided to get some sleep and didn't really help that much, but hey ho, we go again. So, didn't miss much, there wasn't much posted yesterday, but today, oy vey. So we're 3 days into January, which also means we're 3 days into the January transfer window, and we have only just got some rumours coming through today. So we got this. Not the most exciting of links, I'll be honest with you. So this is from the72.co.uk, but they're reporting it because it's from someone else. It's from HITC Sport. Middlesbrough, Millwall, and Peterborough United eyeing fullback swoop. Not much of a swoop, I shall tell you. Right, so all of the clubs you just mentioned are interested in Manchester 62 defender Todd Kane. Who? Exactly. According to a report by HITC Sport, the right back is currently playing his football in Gibraltar, but is being linked with a switch back to England this winter. Kane cut ties with Coventry City at the end of last season and moved abroad in October. HITC Sport claim Middlesbrough, Millwall, Peterborough and Lincoln City are all in the frame to land him now. Kane is an experienced defender in the Football League and has made over 250 appearances in his career to date. He started his career at Chelsea and rose up through the academy ranks at Stamford Bridge before going on to have loan spells away from the Premier League giants with the likes of Preston North End, Blackburn Rovers, Bristol City, Nottingham Forest, NEC Nijmegen, FC Groningen, Oxford United and Hull City to gain experience. The former England youth international was also then snapped up by QPR on a permanent basis in 2019 and spent 2 years with the Hoops. Interestingly, they don't mention he was on. Oh, maybe they mention it now. Oh yeah, they mention it now. Coventry then came calling and he went on to play 41 times for the Sky Blues, as well as having a temporary spell in League One at Charlton Athletic before his contract with his parent club expired. His current team, Manchester 62, play in the Gibraltar Football League and came second last season. They are also currently the home to former Hull City winger Ahmed Salam. Kane could be leaving them in the near future, though, with the likes of Borough, Millwall and Peterborough believed to be in the frame for his signature. So there you go. Well. That sounds very rosy. It sounds like it's written by his agent, to be honest. If we go to this from SofaScore, it gives a bit more details. He's 30 years old. In September, 17th of September. So last season, he was playing for Coventry until January. He played for them in New Year's Day, 1-1 against on the left hand side. If you look over there, 1-1 draw against Coventry. Against Bristol City. Played in the FA Youth Cup, lost to Wrexham, and then he went on loan to Charlton. So it seems one of those where they probably told him he's not going to get another contract at Coventry, and it might be in your best interest to get a loan move, or maybe try and find another club and we can get you a loan move now. Because he then, a week later, he joins Charlton on the 14th of January last year, so nearly coming up to a year. And he's playing for Charlton, not doing too well, to be honest. So it looks like they didn't pick him up, because his last game for them was on the 29th of April. But you don't know. His ratings seem to be so, not the best. He didn't do well in that 6-0 defeat to Ipswich, but it's Charlton. You don't know how much of it is him as a player, and how much of it is Charlton as a basket case. Obviously, they've had change of ownership. I think they probably fired their manager since then, or maybe they did it before then. So you don't know if that's affected it as well, where the old manager wanted him, or there was a deal to be done with the previous owners, and now when the new owners come, everything gets thrown out the door. So maybe it's that. Maybe he expected to get a deal at Charlton, and that deal didn't come, and he's like, oh doo doo, because we have it. I don't know how many games. There's only one game here. I don't know why there's only one game here. Did he only play one game for them? Obviously, I imagine the stats from Gibraltar aren't the best, but according to them, transfer history, at the moment, he doesn't have a club, so they're saying we're buying him from this team in Gibraltar. Apparently, he's out of contract, which is good for us because there's no transfer fee and we don't have a pot to piss in. And according to them, so he signed for Manchester 62 of Gibraltar on the 19th of October. So he didn't get a deal. He was out of contract and they picked him up. I don't know if they were in Europe and they needed a bit of experience to try and get qualified for those later stages of maybe the Conference League or maybe something like that. I don't know. Maybe they did. I haven't looked into it. But we can see here they've listed him as playing in one game for them against Lynx, which was a 5-1 win, and he scored. So apparently he's pretty good in the Gibraltar League. So what standard is that? I'm guessing it's probably a similar standard to the Ryman Premier, if I'm going to be honest. So yeah, apparently he's out of contract. Almost certainly, he's known to the management team from his days at Chelsea. I think they do overlap. Todd Kane. So, but here's the thing: why are we being linked with a right back? We have Brooklyn Coffey, we have Danny McNamara, we have Ryan Leonard. Now, Danny McNamara out in the cold. Has he said to Joe Edwards, I really, really, really want to play? And is there any chance of me doing that here? And if not, can I go out on loan? Has Danny McNamara asked to go out on loan? Is that why we've been linked with this almost certainly a backup right back? But yeah, a bit of a weird one. Obviously, I don't know, no idea why. Although weirdly, see, it looks like Charlton will play him on the left, so maybe that's why it didn't work out too well. His heat map is on the left is off the chart. They were playing him at left back. Typical Charlton, huh? Buy a right back and play him at left back. No wonder he didn't have a contract. So yeah, but be interesting to see if we get a double announcement with Todd Kane signs for Millwall, and then right after that we get Danny McNamara goes out on loan. But where would he go? Scottish Prem? Does he go back to them? I doubt he'll go back to St Johnstone because they have fallen off massively since then. But I guess he could go to another club in Scotland. Somewhere else. Is there a club in Europe that's still in the Conference League or in Europa League stages, and he could go there? Or could he just go to League One and like Cambridge with Neil Harris at League One? But that would kind of be a step back, I think. But God forbid, could he go to QPR? He was linked with QPR before. Can he go to them on loan and try and keep them in the league? That would be a bit of a, I don't know. We have bounced away from them at the moment, but we're not super safe. We still need to get 50 points, and we don't really want to be helping out the teams below us. And I'm almost certainly he would do that. He would be a welcome addition to them, I think. So yeah, interesting stuff ahead. What's going on? What is going on? Now we also have this transfer dealings linked. This is coming from the Chelsea side apparently. So this is from a website called thechelseachronicle.com. No idea. but again, they're mentioning something that someone else has said. Millwall want to sign 20-year-old Chelsea player on loan this month. Now, which one of those is it? There's a picture there. Is it even any of those? No idea. Is it the tattooed man? I don't know. Not too sure. But let's have a scroll down and see what we've got. So, Championship side Millwall are interested in signing Chelsea youngster Alfie Gilchrist. I'm going to go out on a guess and say he might be the white one there. Is that fair to say? I don't know. There's increasing noise in this January transfer window regarding the future of Chelsea's 20-year-old defender. Yes, we are in the world of under 21s, and if you don't make it, or if you're not there or thereabouts by the time you're 21, you've got to move on. So here we go. So Alfie Gilchrist, who's a product of the Blues Academy, is now linked with a possible temporary switch away from Stamford Bridge. The Evening Standard reports that Gilchrist is attracting interest from unnamed clubs. The central defender's played the opening 2 games of his first team career in the last week, with senior head coach Mauricio Pochettino using him off the bench in a couple of Premier League matches. So he's been a substitute in the Premier League, but now they want to loan him out. If he's in their squad and getting game time, why are they loaning him out? Bizarre. He's now ready for the first loan spell of his professional career. Yes, I believe I was correct. It is the white guy from above. It is that white guy there. Well-respected journalist Simon Phillips has reported via his Substack. So we have another journalist, independent on Substack, on Wednesday that Millwall want to sign Gilchrist from Chelsea. Millwall's manager Joe Edwards has a strong Chelsea background, wants to sign a 20-year-old Blues youngster on loan for the rest of the season. He'll know Gilchrist after managing various Chelsea youth teams, plus he was assistant boss under Frank Lampard at Stamford Bridge. So there you go. A Chelsea defender. Now, will he be as good as Danny Ballard was, as Cresswell was? Don't know. But yes, interesting stuff. Would be interesting because our defence, they just get 4 clean sheets in a row. So to bring someone in, you're gonna kind of upset the apple cart. But I guess that's how it goes. Competition drives everybody forward, I guess. Now, some stories from yesterday, post-match stuff. We got this. This is from southwarknews.co.uk. We've been at our max for 10 days. Millwall boss quizzed on difficult fixture congestions. The Lions have picked up 10 points in 10 days, and despite the good form, Joe Edwards is aware of the physical toll the rush of fixtures can have. Joe Edwards is proud of his players' efforts during a relentless fixture schedule that saw the Championship teams play 4 times in 10 days. The Christmas period is always busy in England, but Saturday, falling on December the 23rd in 2023, saw an even higher volume of games squeezed into a short period. It proved to be a fruitful few days for Millwall, with a draw against Stoke City coming before consecutive wins over Queen's Park Rangers, Norwich City and Bristol City yesterday. Obviously this was from Britain the other day. It has now paved the way for a much quieter couple of months, with Millwall set to play fewer league games over the rest of January than they have done in the last 10 days. They also have only one midweek fixture before the end of February. Asked about the intense fixture schedule, the Lions boss Edwards said, "Looking ahead at the fixtures now and how much it calmed down in January and February, I know the way Saturday fell on the 23rd made it like that, but when you're part of it and that's 4 games in 10 days, you kind of go, I'm not getting our violin out, the lads are fit players, but when you want a quality product, Bristol would feel it was a bit flat, but I was looking at ourselves after half an hour and thinking, is this a bit of an anxiety? We're away from home, will that be take a point, or is it just we're flat and a bit fatigued? It's a fair point because you definitely feel it and you find yourself in that spot as a person picking a team, particularly when you've been doing well like we have, of wanting to leave the team as consistency is key. But you also say, do I need to freshen it up? It's a tough balance. So the way that game sort of ebbed and flowed and both teams had spells where they looked a bit flat or a bit sloppy has to be a contributor. We've been at our max for 10 days. asked if a wider conversation was needed about the heavy fixture. Asked if a wider conversation was needed about the heavy fixture list at this time of year. Edwards said, I've worked at the Premier League and Champions League level, where the money dictates and you kind of get why there's so many games at that level. But it feels like our schedule really calms down now, so even if one of those games of the four we've just had was moved, I know people want to watch football around Christmas, but with the travel and the cost, it feels like it's been a bit of a real stretch. And that's why I'm absolutely delighted with the players, because when you look at where we are, we hadn't won in a while and we weren't playing great. And you look at the fixture list knowing it's going to be relentless, it can be quite daunting. So the way the players stepped up and done what they've done across the 4 festive games is all credit to them. Yes, sir. Now, coming out of that, what injuries have we got? Well, not that many, actually. We only picked up one. So this is also from southernnews.co.uk's Mill injury update on Wes Harding and Casper Dinor ahead of Leicester FA Cup clash on Saturday. Yes, it is the FA Cup this weekend. Having missed 2 games for the Lions, defender Harding is fighting to be back fit from his hamstring issue. Wes Harding could make it back to fitness in time to play in this Saturday's FA Cup clash against Leicester City, but Joe Edwards says it will be tight. The defender has missed Mill's last 2 games with a hamstring problem he picked up during Boxing Day's 2-0 win over Queen's Park Rangers. Edwards said he can't rule out the 27-year-old's return before the weekend. The Lions head coach told News at Den, Wes was outdoors when we were preparing for Bristol, so Wes is progressing as we thought. It will be very tight to be involved for the Leicester game. We couldn't rule it out, but it will be tight. Harding has been replaced in the lineup by club captain Sean Hutchinson, who got the late winner and starred in the New Year's Day win at Bristol City. Edwards admits he will have a good headache to deal with when Harding returns. He said, you never know when opportunity will come, but it's about how you take it. Hutch definitely would have been frustrated at the lack of game time he's had under me. And to be fair to Hutch, the professionalism he's shown every day to be club captain and not be in a team but still conduct himself the way he has is why he's club captain. He's an incredibly professional, and he's come in and really made the most of the opportunity. And when Wes comes back, that's a headache for me, but a good headache. Elsewhere, Casper Dinor has missed the last 8 games of his calf injury, and Edwards said he's continued to edge towards fitness and could be training by the end of next week. He said, Casper, as we said in the original time frame, I think he'd be aiming to get back out on the training pitch with us maybe in the back end of next week. And that will be his first reintroduction to training, and then he has to do a bit of work before he's fit for selection for a game. Following 4 games in 10 days, Edwards added that some players were still being assessed and checked for niggles picked up from Ashton Gates. So there may be more. There may be more secret injuries. Or maybe that's being used as an excuse to rest some players and make some changes. But what changes can we make? We don't really have that many players sitting on the bench. Like, we've got Danny Mack. We've got, who else we've got? We've got SA. Is SA going to play? If he doesn't, then what's the point? It's an FA Cup game. Obviously, I think we're going to try and win it. So I think it's going to be business as usual. And it's going to be the strongest team that we can put out. But there you go. I don't think we certainly don't want to draw on a replay. Are replays still a thing? Or have they scrapped them yet? We scrapped them because the Premier League have paid us money to do so. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, there's a game on Thursday. It's a Millwall under-21 game. Yeah, but it's behind closed doors. It's a training ground. I think they sometimes do let you in if you want to get in. But it's all very hush-hush. So this is from millfc.co.uk. It's a preview of tomorrow's under-21s game against Charlton Athletic. Mill's under-21s are back in Professional Development League action on Thursday afternoon as they welcome Charlton Athletic. Kick-off at 1:30 p.m. Kevin Nugent's side returned to league action in 2024 with a local derby, looking to keep up their pursuit of Queen's Park Rangers at the top of the table, whom they sit behind by virtue of goals scored, albeit with a game in hand. So there you go. So it's going to be live tweeted on Millwall at Millwall Academy. Millwall, that's where all that stuff is now. Obviously, I'll mention it in tomorrow's video. So just come back to tomorrow's video and I'll let you know. So there you go. Charlton not doing too well this season, sitting at the bottom of the table. So you would think that would be an easy win for Millwall, but so you never know. Have they had too much turkey over Christmas? I don't know. Now, will SA play in this game? If he plays in this, then he's almost certainly not going to start on Saturday, is he? Well, he's 18, so he probably could do those 2 games. He hasn't played, so we'll see. Interesting to see who does play in this game. Now, we're going to finish the video by mentioning something that is kind of worrying, kind of troubling. I don't know if they've done this before, but this is worrying for us because this will almost certainly be used against us. The precedent has been set. So I heard on the radio that the Newcastle fans have been told they will not be allowed to use public transport to get to this game. They have to use a coach. So this is from bbc.co.uk. There's Sunderland Newcastle FA Cup derby. I think it's on Saturday. I'm not too sure. Is it on Saturday? Yeah. So it's the first time they played since 2016, which is what, 8 years? And there's 6,000 Newcastle fans going to this game. And Northumbria police have set up cordons around the stadium to stop people just rocking up. And it says here, Magpie supporters will have to travel on designated return bus services from St James's Park and will only be given their match ticket as they exit the bus outside the Stadium of Light. Then they will be held back inside the ground at full time until home supporters have cleared the area. This is kind of messed up, no? And almost certainly you can imagine what game this will be used for. It will be used for West Ham. If we do beat Leicester in the FA Cup, 3rd round, get West Ham away in the 4th round, this is what we're gonna get. This is what we're gonna get. And would you stand for it? Would you do it? You could probably get a ticket in the home end, if I'm honest with you. But I mean, would you do it? If they said, because obviously they got that massive stadium now, so we're allowed a certain amount of tickets as a percentage. We could probably be allowed 10,000 tickets. There's no way they would give us that. But if they said, look, you can only go to West Ham away at the Olympic Stadium. Is it still called the Olympic Stadium? I'm not too sure. Obviously, they could never do that at Upton Park or the Bowling Ground because of the way that it was on the street. But the stadium at Stratford is in the park, the Olympic Park. They could quite easily bubble up the Olympic Park, close all the exits, and just have all the Millwall supporters driving on coaches and have those coaches parked up. Would you stand for it? Would you go to that game? It'll probably be on TV. But would you just watch it on TV? Like, what's the point? What's the point of doing that? It's a bit. But here we go. So they're doing it for this game. And like I said, it will almost certainly be used if we play West Ham away again. Because we haven't played them at the new ground. And that new ground is just... It's all kinds of funny business going on outside the stadium, isn't it? It's set in a park. It's surrounded by large open spaces. And all kinds of things could be happening. So yeah, this is 15% of the stadium's capacity. That's what they're entitled to. So would you stand for that? Like, you'd probably have no choice. Or if they said we have to do this, or we do it behind closed doors and the game's on TV. It's I don't know. It's a bit weird, isn't it? It's a bit weird. They can do this for football fans, but all these protesters can do what they want. Protesting about Palestine, protesting about Just Stop Oil and all that shit. and they just get to do what they want, and then you've got football fans being treated like crap. Hey ho, what can you do? But yeah, bit of a weird one. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.